In this video, we'll show you how to use Planwin 2024 to create ETABS file. For the example, we are going to take a building of ground plus 4-story. This is 6 level. We'll be creating 3 plans. One for the plinth level. Then there are 4 typical floors are there, and one is terrace level. And this diagram shows you the layout plan for a typical layout floor, which consists of bedroom, kitchen, toilet, living room, passage, staircase, and the landing. So we'll start by clicking on Planwin icon. So initially, you are going to see the license and the version number. So to start the thing, first I have to click on file. I say new and dimension of the plan. So just now I'm taking 25 meter by 15 meter and floor to floor height I'm taking 3 meter. Other thing I'm keeping say okay and press on okay. Now screen clicker. So here I'm going to give the room dimension. So suppose my first room dimension is 3 meter by 3.65 meter. And program gives on its own name S1, S2, which you can change. And thickness of the slab I'm giving is 12.5 centimeter or 0.125 meter. Based on density, it works out the self weight. Then I'm giving floor finish, live load. So total load is 6.62. In the direction, I'm seeing both the direction. It means load from this slab would transfer to the beam on all the sides. I click on OK. So first slab is drawn. Now what I'll do to mark the next slab, I just take the cursor somewhere near the corner, click on this and move the direction in which I want a slab. So suppose if I click on this and here my width is 2.3 meter, rest of everything remains so same. So I said okay. Now I'm creating a toilet block. So I'm taking cursor like this and here my breadth is 1.5 meter and beside live load, this other load, I'm using Indian toilet whereby my other load is 6 kilonewton per square meter. So this is drawn. Now I'm drawing a living room. So whereby I'll put the cursor here and move uh, the cursor in this direction. And here I'm giving my length is 3.3 and width is 4 meter. In this case, there is no other load. So I'll say 0. So I said, okay. I have done something wrong. So I press Ctrl Z and I'll take the cursor here, move like this. So this width is 3.3, breadth is 4 meter, and all other remains same. So I said, okay. So a slab is drawn. Now at this point of time, if I want to check anything, I can just click here and I can see the value of floor finish. I can see the value of other load. So here you can see other load is 6. Once this is done, then I'm saying slab select all and right click and I'm saying mirror selection and I'm selecting this 2 point. So other slabs are done. Now I want to create a mirror on this direction. So again I say slab data select all. Now again I say right click and say mirror. Now here my staircase width is 3.3 meter. Half of this is 1.65. So I just click on here and I said mirror point is 1.65 meter away from this point. And from this point also it is second point is also 1.65 meter away. So I have drawn this slab. Now I'll draw the passage. So again, I'm clicking on this, click on this cursor and move in this direction. So width is 3.3 meter and my breadth is 5.3. And here, because of passage, my live load I'm increasing to 3 kilonewton. So this is done. Now I want to draw a staircase. So I just click on here. And suppose here my half the width, or I can also write 3.3 divided by 2. So it becomes 1.65. And here direction, I want Y direction. So I'll change this direction in Y direction. And in staircase, I'm taking other load as 4 kilonewton because of steps. Now, so this is done. Again, I'm clicking on here, click on this, same details. So I said, okay. Now I want to draw landing. So now for landing, again, what I can do, just click on this. I'd select irregular slab, click inside. So it will take this point and I click outside this and say my second point is at 1.5 meter away. So this is done. I click on right click. Now here there is no other load. So I say 0. All other remains same. And the direction I'm saying both because I'm going to give beam on all sides. So I said okay. So this my plan is done. Now what I'll do, I'm going to save in one directory. So I'm creating a directory, say new folder. I go to software, Planwin tool, compare old with new. So, okay, I'm giving here and selecting, creating a new folder called demonstration, demo. Right? And here I'm storing this as a typical floor slab. I said save. Now, once this is done, now again, if I come here and say, show me the description. Now, this description I want to make in a sequential. I have to give sequential number. So I say slave data. I say auto renumber. So all slave would be given based on their CG. So S1, S2, S3, S4 like that is done. And also I said modify data, unselect all. So these are my once the slaves are drawn, my next thing will be I'm going to draw the columns. So I say column data and there is option called judge column. So this will be used just to mark the I say judge column, yeah, sorry. And just for this I'm giving say size of 0.3, but this is just to mark the column. So I said okay. I said create. So cursor will move from point to point. I don't want to create column here. So I say skip, skip, create, skip, create. Then here I have to create 3 columns. So I say create, create, create. Again I say create, create, create. Here I don't know. So I say skip, 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 create. Then I said skip. I said skip, 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 create. Then I say create, 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 create. Again I say create, skip, skip, say skip, skip, create. Then here I say skip, 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 create, create, create. Then create, 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 and create. So my all columns are marked. After marking the column, I'm going to mark the beam. For this, there's a very good option, auto option. So I go to beam data and I said auto beam. So here initially I have to just, I'm dividing uh, beam into external and internal beam, and then I can subsequently change it. So here, suppose my internal beam depth is 0.23 by zero point 0.5. And for the loading, I just click on this. So this is my cell fed, flow to flow right. And on the top, there is a beam height. So wall height is 2.5 meter. And suppose I want to give wall thickness of 0.2. Wall density, I'm keeping is same. And plaster thickness, I'm keeping 24. And I said, okay. Now for external beam, I'm giving size of 0.23 by 0.75. So my wall height, I'm keeping 2.25. Wall thickness, again, I'm keeping same, suppose 0.2. And plaster density, again, I'm keeping same, 24. I said, okay, okay. So my all the beams are marked. Now what happened? There is a concept of main beam and secondary beam. So program is asking me which is the main beam, which is the secondary beam. So it's which beam to break. So I said break the red beam. Again I said break the red beam, red beam, red beam. So this is done. Now when I try to run, so program is asking me which is the cantilever beam. So I said this is my cantilever beam and this is my cantilever beam. And again I come back to my main screen. Now if you see the cantilever beams are marked red. Now I say execute. So as soon as I say executes, program works out how much is the total live load, how much is the dead load from the slab, total slab load is so much, how much total beam load, and if there is any extra loads are there. Now, so total load and reaction, it is 0, 0. It means everything is all right. Sometimes you might get a difference of say 1% or so. It's okay because this is due to inclined slab. And in computer program, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, 1 by 3 is not 1. It is giving as 0.99. So you click on OK. So now if you see, you are seeing the reaction of each column. Now what I'll do, I'll just suppress the beam number. So here I say, you don't show me the beam number. So, and I say, don't show me the slab number also. No. Now you see, you are seeing the reaction of column on load on each column. So here it is 228, here it is 29, 65, 65. So you know all the data are all right. Now let's take an example. Suppose by chance, here I have given a wrong loading. Suppose I click on property and instead of floor finish 1.5, suppose I have given 15. I said okay, and I say run. So now if you see, here it is 102 and here it is 65. So immediately I know something is wrong. So this is the best way that you, before going for ETABS model, you are absolutely sure about what you are doing. So again, I'll right click and I say property and I'll correct it to 1.5 and okay. And again, I say run. So now you say it is symmetrical, right? Now also I want to see how the loading has been transferred. Suppose if I click on this beam, okay, let me take first one simple beam. Suppose I'm clicking on this beam and I say, show me the load analysis. So now it tells me on this beam, there's a load from this slab. And what is the starting intensity? So here for this slab, starting distance is 0. Length of load is 1.15 because that span is 2.3. And starting intensity is 0, end intensity is this. And for this part, this is the situation. Now let's take more complicated case. I'm clicking on this beam and I said load analysis. So now if you see, now suppose for this beam, this is a starting point. So here it taking load from this slab, which is this 4 and 5. Then there is a point load. This is a point load and which is coming from B8. Then there is a point load coming from this. So what program does, it, so now if you see, say for example, uh, here there is a load of 32 and 27. So if I click on this and I say show me the reaction, load analysis. So reaction is 27.9. Now if I go back again and I click on this and I said load analysis, so it is 27.9. Okay. So effectively what it is doing, it is transferring the load from slab to secondary beam to main beam, and main beam to column. Again, suppose if I here see column reaction is 114. So if I click on this load analysis, so here the reaction is 93, and the reaction from this beam is 20.92. And if I click on this column, so I get 93 and 20. So you are very sure that your main data, loading data is all right. Once this is done, you just say save.